Last week, Chase announced the all-new Chase Sapphire Reserve and the much-anticipated Sapphire Reserve for business. We're going to look at all the new features, some of them you might like, and others you might hate. Big favor before we dive into everything though is to hit the like button, and if you know someone that might benefit, then share this with them. Let's start with the personal card. Right off the bat, the annual fee is now $7.95, with a $1.95 annual fee for each authorized user. With the new fee, you also have new credits. Some of them are tougher, but there's 3 key ones I think are easy to quantify. First one is the up to $300 annual travel credit. This is anything that codes as travel and has not changed. Number 2 is up to 300 annual credit, which is up to 150 credits semi-annually for StubHub and Viagogo credits, so concerts and event tickets. This one feels pretty easy. Whether you're into music or sports, lots of options. If you're in a high cost of living city, basketball tickets are usually $200 per person. For lower cost of living, the credit goes further. Next is an up to 300 annual credit, which is up to 150 credits semi-annually for Chase Sapphire Reserve exclusive tables, bookable on OpenTable. The one catch is footprint, so this is what it looks like as a filming. The options do seem pretty reasonable though, and a lot of common date night ones. So these are not bad restaurants by any means, and in our area, most are either cult favorites or have Michelin stars. Unlike competitors, it's not monthly, making it a lot easier to use for, let's say, birthdays or anniversaries. For a lot of people and myself, these 3 credits are the bread and butter. If you add them all up, you have up to 900 in credits. This, compared to the $7.95 annual fee, makes it a break-even card or keeper card. Even if you discount the credit by 10%, the fair value is still not in a bad spot, but depends on you there. If you're not a fan of these credits, there are additional ones that can help, but these are a bit more of a mixed bag. You have an up to 500 annual credit, which is up to 250 credits semi-annually for the edit by Chase Travel. So prepaid hotel bookings, minimum of 2 nights. This is their collection of over 1,100 hotels and resorts. It sounds great, but the semi-annual nature and the 2-night minimum might make it non-viable. Also depends on how you travel. Hotels are more mid-level and up, but there are some cheaper picks in the 200 to 300 range though, so not impossible. If you're a Vegas person, Bellagio and Cosmo during off-season can be pretty affordable. It's not like there's no value, but it feels annoying and you might want to discount it. The card also offers up to $250 annual value through a complimentary subscription to Apple Music and Apple TV through June 22nd, 2027. If you already use these, then great, but if you don't, then debatable. One I like, but people are more iffy with is Lyft. Here you get up to $10 per month, totaling up to $120 annually through September 30th, 2027. It very much depends on where you live and lifestyle. In cities like San Francisco, a fair share of people use rideshare and self-driving cars. In contrast, my parents never used rideshare outside of annual vacations, so they'd attribute 0 value. Next one is up to $120 in annual statement credits towards Peloton memberships through December 31st, 2027. If you have one, great, otherwise just ignore it. DoorDash might be one of the weirdest ones. So it's up to $5 a month for restaurant promos and up to $10 a month for everyday essential promos. You also have to activate by December 31st, 2027, and also a reminder that enrollment is required for these promos to come into play. If you use DoorDash already, I guess you lock in more value. I'm not sure if this is going to convince non-DoorDashers to care though. You also get a complimentary Dash Pass membership worth up to $120 annually. With stuff like this, I think it's important to be honest with yourself. So look at your situation and discount the credits if needed. If the math doesn't work, then the math doesn't work. If you don't feel like doing the paper and pen version, we do have a calculator where you can adjust the numbers for yourself. It should pop up if you Google Chase Sapphire Reserve worth it AskSebby, but I'll also link it down below. Let me know what your numbers are because I'm pretty curious. If not weird, maybe include city and stage of life, since it sounds like having kids dramatically changes things. On that note, if you want to learn more about this card or pretty much any other card out there and you want to support the channel, we do have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. The multipliers also changed for the card. I'd argue for the better. You get 8x points on all Chase travel purchases. This is especially useful for flights. So if you have elite status, if you provide them with your number, you still get the benefits. You might have less flexibility, so non-zero downside. Hotels though tend to be a lot more strict about OTAs and consolidators. For hotels, if you have status, I'd book directly. With that, the card now earns 4x on flights and hotels booked directly. For Hilton, I definitely used their co-branded card, but depending on how you value Marriott and IHG, 4x here might be actually better. Even for Hyatt, 4x flexible points that can transfer to Hyatt beats 4x Hyatt. You take that optionality. The last key one is 3x on dining. Otherwise, you have partner ones like 5x on Lyft purchases through September 30th, 2027. Also 10x points towards eligible Peloton equipment and accessory purchases. For everything else, it's 1x back. Winners are definitely people that book hotels directly and people that book flights, whether directly or through portals. Let's say you book a United flight. Option 1 is to use the co-branded. Here you get 9x, but only 4x is attributed to the card. So option 1 would be 4x United miles, option 2 is direct with the new card, which is 4x points, and option 3 is via Chase Travel, which would be 8x points. There is an argument to use the co-branded card, but only if you don't have elite status. On average, Team Hotel and Team Flights are doing fine, but what about other travel? So for example, if you're on Team Airbnb, you're not going to be happy. Same thing if you prefer alternative luxury portals like Virtuoso. It depends on your spend, but it might make sense to change a hammer to a drill. One of the new features of the card is Points Boost. This might make transferring to partners obsolete for some people, especially Team Hotels. Points are worth up to 2x on thousands of top booked hotels and flights with select airlines and hotels through Chase Travel. It does depend on the partner though. The added hotels is 2x, select airfare will be bookable at 1.5x to 2x, but will vary by airline, class of travel, and other factors. This is also replacing the 1.5x redemption that we've known and loved. You still have time though. Feel free to pause to read, but if you applied for the card before the changes, your points get the best of both the old and new system until October 26, 2027. Less ideal for normal travelers, but likely more value for premium-focused ones. There still is an argument for transfer partners for top hotels where it might be 3 to 4 cents per point. And of course flights where the value can be even higher, but there are a lot of hoops to jump through for these to work. This feature alone might win over the luxury traveler who doesn't want to bother with transferring points. On top of this, there are other travel perks. Let's start with lounges. For Chase Sapphire Lounges by the club, you have unlimited access for primary and authorized users. For guest of card members, you have up to 2 guests per visit complimentary, and additional guests are $27. For other priority pass cards from other banks, you only get 1 complimentary visit for Sapphire Lounges per calendar year. This is probably the biggest feature right now given the lounge landscape. Locations include Boston, New York LaGuardia, JFK, Philly, Phoenix, and San Diego. As of filming, Vegas and LAX are coming soon, while Hong Kong acts more like a standard priority pass lounge. Speaking of which, you also get a priority pass membership that gets you plus 2 guests access to their partner lounges. Their network is pretty big, but I'd recommend double checking your airport. For example, LAX, at least right now, is a bit of a lounge desert. Compared to SFO, which is great for the club SFO, and partner lounges in international can be hit or miss depending on hours. I'd still temper your expectations stateside. Lounges abroad, especially Asia, tend to be a lot better in my experience, main reason being better food, ambiance, and just more service oriented. Again, check the airports you fly between, can be night or day. You also have access to 20 select Air Canada Maple Leaf lounges and Air Canada cafes when flying Star Alliance. Depends on airport, but might be a good alternative to Sapphire lounges. For example, the SFO one is considered one of the best iterations. I've been flying United a lot this year, mostly for work stuff. Definitely gonna hit Platinum and potentially 1K. So probably need to check out this lounge. One credit I kind of skipped over earlier is up to 120 for global entry, TSA PreCheck, or Nexus every 4 years. Nexus is a great option, but otherwise table stakes and hard to attribute value. One that's nice, but you might already have is IHG1 rewards Platinum Elite status. Main reason being that you do get this with one of the hotel cards. Normally the status would require staying 40 nights per year to get, main draw being earning bonus points, also welcome amenity, complimentary upgrades, and early check-in upon availability. If you stay at their hotels, it's a nice to have. Asia tends to be a lot better here as well. For example, we ended up getting complimentary breakfast at Regent Taipei with Platinum Elite, even though they're only required to give us a snack. The card is keeping all the prior travel benefits and why a lot of people liked the card. You can earn even better travel benefits by hitting 75k in spend per calendar year. You don't need to do this, but an option. If you do, you get IHG1 Rewards Diamond Elite status, which gets you even more bonus points and better welcome amenity. You also get airline status. So Southwest Airlines A-List status and up to 500 Southwest Airlines credit when booking through Chase Travel. Main benefit right now for it are priority boarding, one check to pay complimentary, and same-day standby. If you fly Southwest Airlines, given how they updated, this is solid. You also get up to 250 credit to the shops at Chase, where brands include Dyson, Sony, Therabody, and Tumi. Just feels like an extra bonus. With all of this, they're also launching the Chase Sapphire Reserve for business. A lot of similarities and some differences. In terms of elevated multipliers, they basically swapped out dining for advertising with social media and search. For a lot of business owners, this is their bread and butter. Especially for startups that are looking to scale, it's the biggest category. Agencies can easily run $100K to $1 million a month across their clients. There are other cards out there with this category, but they have pretty low caps, generally $150K per year. So this one card replaces the need to get 8 to 10 other ones. Some of the credits on a business card are the same as the personal one and work the same way. So you have the same annual travel credit and same semi-annual hotel credit through the edit. DoorDash is the same, so same promos, activate by, and enrollment required to get. Same thing for Lyft. The other ones can be hit or miss. You get up to 100 credit annually, which is up to 50 credit semi-annually for giftcards.com for employee appreciation. Pretty easy. You also get up to 200 annually for Google Workspace. I've run my own domain for a while, so this is a pretty normal charge. You get up to 400 credit annually, which is up to 200 credit semi-annually in ZipRecruiter credits. I haven't used ZipRecruiter, so very questionable value on my end. The premium benefits are the same, with the difference being the spend threshold being 120K instead of 75K, which feels fine. Annual fees the same $7.95, and employee cards are complimentary. Note that employee cards do not get priority pass memberships or standalone access to Sapphire Lounges. Overall, I think the personal card can still be viable if you can get near breakeven, and then especially if you spend enough on travel. Business one is intriguing if you plan to run a ton of ads. With everything though, your mileage may vary. I run the numbers for yourself and see where they fall. Again, Chase Sapphire Reserve, AskSebby worth it, and I'll also link it down below. End of the day, cards are tools, and hammers are amazing, but it might not be what you need. Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure they're competitive, but a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. And if you're curious, all legal affiliate disclosures can also be found below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave a hammer emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. 3 questions: what credits do you like and will likely use? What are your thoughts on points boost versus transfer partners? And thoughts on the business version. If you know someone that might benefit, share this, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.